Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. Canelo Alvarez and Danny Jacobs title fight. The contract includes a rehydration clause with hefty fines. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I made a video about this bright and early. It was on the channel. Got a good response. A lot of people talking about it. Now, shout out to RINGTV.com. Link is in the description. They have an article about it as well. It says Canelo Alvarez Daniel Jacobs title fight contract includes a rehydration clause with hefty fines. So, you know, some people were wondering where I got this information. I didn't personally get it from RINGTV, but I was getting back from the Pacquiao-Broner fight, and you know, I talked to some of my sources, and that's what it was. And this is just confirmation. It says Daniel Jacobs won't be able to skip the second day weigh-in. The contract for his ring middleweight championship fight with Canelo Alvarez includes a rehydration clause. Sources with knowledge of the deal told The Ring. A same-day weigh-in will be held at 8 a.m. the day of May 4th, the fight in Las Vegas. Neither fighter will be allowed to exceed 170 pounds. For the fight, which is contracted at 160 pounds, the penalty is several $100,000 per pound over 170 pounds per sources. Right? Same-day weigh-ins are rare in boxing, though Canelo did have one for his May 2017 fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Fighters always step on the scale the day before the matchup. Canelo and Jacobs will do that Friday, where they can weigh no more than 160, but they're typically free to gain as much weight as they please after the weigh-in. The clause in this contract is aimed at Jacobs, a middleweight with a large frame who's the naturally bigger man, right? When Jacobs challenged Gennady Golovkin for his middleweight titles March 2017, he elected to skip the IBF's same-day weigh-in. The IBF is the only organization that stipulates fighters to step on the scale the morning of the fight. Jacobs wasn't eligible to win the IBF, but he didn't mind. He was also fighting for Triple G's WBA and WBC titles. Jacobs now holds the IBF middleweight title after outpointing Derevyanchenko in October. Jacobs didn't exceed 170 pounds for that fight during the same-day weigh-in. The IBF has abolished the same-day weigh-ins for unification bouts since Triple G narrowly outpointed Jacobs. That meant there would be no second weigh-in for Canelo Jacobs, mandated by the organization, as Alvarez also holds the WBC and WBA titles. However, both parties agreed to the condition during negotiations. Story from Mike Coppinger. Shout out to The Ring. So this is just confirmation of everything that I told you. You know, a lot of people keep saying that this fight, the rehydration clause would be there. This is proof of what I was saying. The IBF, they done away with that. I was at their fight, unification for Undisputed, Terrence Bud Crawford versus Julius Ndongo. And that was a unification between two 140-pound champions, and the IBF belt was at stake because, again, it was for all the belts, Undisputed, and Terrence Crawford did not have to do a same-day weigh-in. I was at the fight, you know, neither did Julius Ndongo, and it was for IBF. You know why? Because as this article says, as I've told you, the IBF, they did away with that, you know, after the Triple G Jacobs fight, because they seen how Jacobs, quote unquote, gamed the system, found that little loophole, and just said, you know what, we're not fighting for the title. We'd rather sleep in, come in comfortable, and, you know, carry our natural weight advantage, right? So they said, oh, you know, on Undisputed or unification fights, then that rule's not going to apply. Only on, like, when it's non-unifications, i.e. Jacobs' last fight when he fought for the vacant title, he had to abide by the same-day weigh-in rules. So Canelo's the one that calls the shots. Be clear. Obviously, we all know that he's the A side. Jacobs has done interviews saying he didn't think he was going to get the fight until the ink dried, right? We know this. We know Canelo is the A side. So trust me when I tell you this. Yes, both fighters agreed, but this was clearly Canelo's team, Saul Alvarez, Team Canelo, Chepo, Eddie Reynoso, you know, the Canelo side who initiated this, because they know that Canelo is shorter and Jacobs is probably naturally bigger, so they don't want him to be able to do what he did with the Triple G fight. And even though he's the IBF champion, maybe actually he wouldn't be forced to weigh in. So, and no other sanctioning body that of belts really does that. And, you know, so the WBC and the other belts that Canelo has from beating Golovkin, they wouldn't have made him do that. So basically, with no rule in place, Jacobs could have came in, you know, whatever his body naturally regenerated to and rehydrated to, you know, and this is what they put a stop to. So it's a strategy, you know, and I'm not saying that Canelo's the first person in boxing to do that. You've seen guys petition or, you know, use their A-side leverage to get a certain ring size, maybe different glove size, walk out first, top billing, you know, whatever psychological, physical, or whatever advantage. So it's not like Canelo is the first person to do anything that had a strategic edge, you know, but this is definitely that. And you even see, it's funny that I say it and then they say I'm the bad guy, but you look at this article, it's saying the same thing. It says the clause in the contract is aimed at Daniel Jacobs, a middleweight with a large frame who's the naturally bigger man. Anybody who is smart and has the wherewithal to know boxing knows why this rehydration clause is in there. Canelo used it for Julio Cesar Chavez. He used it for Rocky Fielding. He's the A side, and this is what happens when he fights bigger guys, or at least that has happened. You know, the only person he didn't do this to was Triple G, who is bigger. You know, I don't think there was a to my knowledge. You know, I don't remember anything about a rehydration clause for the Triple G fight 1 or 2. You know, so if anything, that's almost a testament to Jacobs' skill, his style, that Canelo would put this extra clause in. You know, it's just like Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't have a rematch clause with, like, let's say Conor McGregor, because he's not worried about losing to Conor McGregor or whoever the person is. You get what I'm saying? But if there is a rematch clause, then there is, I'm not saying that they doubt that they're going to win, but they want to make sure just on the up and up. But usually you don't see certain clauses unless, you know, the threat of that being an issue is evident, i.e., how come Canelo versus Amir Khan didn't have a rehydration clause? Because that fight took place at 155. Canelo was a welterweight. I mean, excuse me, Amir Khan was a welterweight moving up. So I don't think Canelo or his team feared that Canelo would be the smaller guy come fight night. You know, in fact, I virtually know that they knew that they would be bigger. Amir Khan says that Canelo weighed 183 or so on fight night. I don't know how he got that information, that number. You know, I remember they did a face-off with HBO, Canelo and Amir Khan and Virgil Hunter, and Virgil Hunter said he would love to be a fly on the wall and see Canelo's rehydration process, because he gains what X amount of weight, like, you know, 15, 20 something pounds or whatever. That's what Virgil Hunter said. So, you know, we know what the rehydration clause is. I'm just reporting the facts. I know a lot of people want to blame me and say I'm biased or the Canelo hate or whatever. Bottom line is, those are the facts. These are the terms of this particular fight. Don't kill the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. There is still a good fight, but, you know, obviously Canelo wanted this clause added because, like I said, why didn't he have a clause with Amir Khan? Because he didn't fear Amir Khan ballooning up to some crazy weight. We've seen Jacobs, and, you know, people speculate he didn't do an official weigh-in, but versus Triple G, he came in comfortable. So they wanted an added precaution since the IBF abolished that rule. So shout out to RINGTV. Let me know what you guys think. This is just a continuation of the schooling that I've given a lot of fans Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.